Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be at, right? This might be a two-part series, I don't know. But from someone who lived in Germany for about 2 years or so, right? I'm going to tell you this. Germany nightlife is one of the, if not the worst nightlife in Europe. I want to repeat that. Germany nightlife is one of the, if not the worst nightlife in Europe, right? Let me break something down to y'all, right? A lot of these old school vibes, there's about two or three of them, right? And I'm going to tell you which one is the best one at the end. They're playing American music, right? They're playing American music. They're playing American music, right? So me being American, grew up American, went to school American, joined the military American, traveled state to state American. I can be a critic of white Europeans playing American music, right? I, being American, can be a critic of white Europeans playing American music. So let's get this started. I'm going to go from uh, worst to best, right? Because they're events. There's about two or three R&B, quote unquote R&B events, old school vibes, quote unquote events that travel throughout Europe, right? And I'm gonna play. I'm not trying to play videos. If I do, it's gonna be quick. But you're gonna see what I'm talking about, right? And let's say this. We're gonna touch on a few things, right? Let's say this, right? And this is no disrespect, but would you approach that? And all right, let's say this. This is no disrespect, but would you approach that? And when people are like, "Hey, man," when people are like, "Hey, man, them German women are thick. Them German women are thick." This is what they talking about. Listen, listen. Respectfully, a 5 in the Dominican Republic, a 5 in Colombia. I can find a 6 in Thailand, a 4 in doggone half of Africa. Is embarrassing that, right? Is embarrassing that. And this is a great example, right? This is an awesome example. I don't know if you can see that picture, right? But in all of these events, right, that I've been to, uh, 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 there has been more men than women, right? We'll repeat that again. All of these events that I've been to, there's been more men than women. All right, there has, right? Yeah, they travel. What's this? Sweden. Or they go to one or two other places, right? Well, this isn't the main event. This isn't the big event, and I'm gonna get to that in the end. But in most of these events that I go to, there are more men than women, right? There are. And if you look at the German women, right, because she's obviously German, she's obviously German. Would you approach that? She could. Oh, yeah, in Sweden. Okay, she's Swedish. But would you approach that? Right? Would you? Brussels, that's Belgium. Cologne, this is Germany. Right? They got a lot of makeup on, which is cool. There's no natural face. Right? But would you approach this? Would you approach this? Would you approach? I mean, she got makeup, she's cute. Would you approach this? Right? And let's be honest. It's more in Germany than Germans. When people, oh man, I had a blast in Germany. Yeah, I, I was talking to this bad Turkish woman in Germany. I was talking to other ethnicities in Germany, but they were not German. So there are more ethnicities in Germany than German women, right? Let me find a woman that looks. Would you approach this on the right? Right. I'm just going to assume she's German. I'm just going to assume they're German. Would you approach this? Right. And I'm not saying, hey, right, most German women aren't that attractive, but I'm telling you from experience, most German women aren't that attractive. It is no woman on this page right now, right? There is no woman on this. This is a great example. There is no woman on this page right now that I would approach. There isn't. There isn't. And a woman might say, hey, Chris, keep flying. You tried to talk to me. Hey, Chris, keep flying. I was at this event. You tried to talk to me. Hey, Chris, keep flying. You tried to approach a German woman. Yes, I have. Would I approach this if I was horny and trying to go home with something? Yes. Would I approach these if I was horny and trying to go home with something? Yes. I've approached women that was 300 pounds. And this is where women get it misconstrued. A man that approaches you doesn't mean he want to be with you. Let's be real, guys. Just because I approach a woman doesn't mean I would date her. I want to get something out of there. So when I say, German women are the least attractive women that I've seen in Europe, I'm telling you right now, German women are the least attractive women that I have seen in Europe. And I've been in like 9 or 10 countries in Europe. I've been to like 9 or 10. Like, look at my YouTube. It's proven. I don't think I showed all of them. I showed some of them. But I've been to 9 or 10 countries in Europe. And I'm telling you this right now, guys. German women are the least attractive women in the entire European continent. German women are the least attractive women in the entire European continent. You say, hey, Chris keeps flying. You haven't been to every country in Europe. Yeah, I haven't. But I put my Tinder over there. I'm sure I put my Tinder to every country in Europe. I was looking at going to Bosnia. I was looking at going to Serbia. Matter of fact, I had tickets to Serbia, but I didn't go. I was looking at going to a lot of places in Europe. But one way that I gauged if I was going to a country in Europe was if my Tinder was popping. Was if I could find Nightlife, YouTube, TikTok, of people there having fun. So I'm trying to hit on two things. One, the German nightlife is the worst nightlife in Europe. Two, the German women are the least attractive women in Europe. Listen, I'm talking about Germans. I'm not talking about some women that's from Africa, some women that's from Asia, some women that's from Turkey, some women that's from America and Germany. Those don't count. A lot of guys are talking to foreign women in Germany and say, yeah, I was in Germany having a blast. Was she German? And 9 times out of 10, as I discussed before, and I showed you before, they're not that attractive. So I'm going to touch on the place in Europe, the affair in Europe that I suggest. So people say, oh, you haven't been to these events. I've been to quite a few old school vibes events, right? Quite a few. I went to 2 in Stuttgart, and 1 or 2 in some other place. I've probably been to 4 old school vibes events, right? And this is no disrespect to old school vibes and their events and what they got going on. But from an American that grew up listening to this music, from an American that went to high school listening to this music, played it on radios, played it in my first car, from an American in Europe that goes to these places where they're playing quote unquote old school vibes, the music is trash. And let me tell you something, and this is no disrespect to them, but once you go to one, you went to them all, right? Let me repeat that again. Once you go to one, you went to them all because they're playing the same music. 75, I'm being generous. I'm actually being nice. 90% of the music played at these old school vibes events is the same music they play at the other event, the other event, the other event, the other event, all over Europe. It's like someone can go up there with the Apple playlist, right? And hook up their iPhone and press play at each event. They really don't need a DJ. That's how repetitious the music is. It's the same music, right? And listen, I'm gonna tell you which event to go to in a second, but listen, if you want to listen to the same music, right, and be surrounded by majority dudes, right, and no women that's above a 7, go to Old School Vibe, right? And I'm not. And listen to me now. I know people say, "Oh, you went to these events. You try to talk to some girls." Yes, I'm a man. I get horny. The hornier I get, and the longer I'm there, the more attractive women get. So don't come for me. I'm just showing you what's there. And I can go to every club in Stuttgart, Frankfurt, Mannheim, Munich, Dusseldorf, Cologne, Kaiserslautern. I can go to all of them, and it's gonna be the same thing, guys. And I can go to all of them, and it's gonna be the same thing. I'm telling you this because I've been to these cities. I've partied in these cities. Trash. All right, and you want to know what's the best event to attend? All right, I'm gonna show you. I'm glad you. So you're gonna say, hey, what's the events to go to in Europe, right? And I'm gonna tell you this. Follow this page, right? I've been following it. My coworkers was following it. My ex Vanessa, who likes to hit people, who stays in the Netherlands, follows it on TikTok, right? This is the event to go to right here, right? And people gonna say, "Oh, both of them old school vibes." Listen, that old school vibes that I just showed you is trash, right? That's like eating bologna, right? This event right here is like eating filet mignon, steak, lobster, some expensive fish, right? It's night and day. Even though they can trick you if you don't know what you're looking for, because I've got tricked. Oh, old school vibe. This is it. Then I went to the Germany one. Oh man, this is trash. This can't be it. I'm like, oh, this is it. Listen, let me tell you something. This is the event to go to. This is when you talk about old school vibes, right? Music, atmosphere, people. This is the event, right? In that last Old School Vibes event, they may play Mary J. Blige, then they may be playing DMX. I'm like, yo, what is this? What is going on here? What is going on here? What is going on here? Like when people say old school, right? Well, if I say, hey man, what kind of old school music you listen to? Nobody is saying DMX in 1990s, DMX in the 80s. We're talking about R&B, guys. I know Europeans don't know, white Europeans don't know, people in Europe, these Africans, wherever they from, that's in Europe, they don't know. They don't know. But when American says, hey man, if I ask another individual, hey man, what's on your old school playlist? Ain't nobody saying DMX. Right? Ain't nobody saying that. People are saying R&B. And this old school vibes that I'm showing you right now got it right. Right? They got it right. They got it right. And I'm going to tell you something. Right? This is the event to go to. Right? I went to an event in Stuttgart, actually. Right? I went to an event in Frankfurt, actually. Right? And let me tell you something. I know I had this discussion with a gentleman that I work with. It's going to be more women than men, right? It's going to be more women than men. And this guy, oh man, they only show you that in the photo. Well, I've been to 2 of them at least. It's going to be more women than men, right? And I'm not saying it's going to be 90-20, 90% women, 20% men, but there's going to be a great portion of women in these events, guys. I'm only telling you what I know because I've been there. right? And I was, I had approached someone there. I bought her. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you the short. I'm gonna make a short story long, a long story short, or a short story long. I'm over there by the bar. The bar is my pickup spot. Even though I haven't had anything to drink, I had one drink this year in 2025. The bar is my pickup spot. I like being posted up near the bar because guess what? Thank me later. Hey, get your pen on a piece of paper. Write this down. I like being posted up near the bar because every woman coming to the bar. Every woman's coming to the bar. So I'm in Stuttgart, right? And I'm posted up near the bar, and I done had a drink or two, right? And you gotta walk past me. The way I'm positioned, I'm like a sniper. The way I'm positioned, right? Any woman coming in gotta walk past me, unless she's going straight to the VIP section. And let's be honest, most women aren't having this little section thing going on. So the way I'm positioned, she gotta walk past me, right? So I seen someone walk past me, and she, you know, I probably would not have approached her if I was sober, because she wasn't really my type. But I bagged her up, right? And she wasn't even from Stuttgart, right? And we talking, we chatting, da 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 da. I had left, and she had left a little later than me. When I got something to eat, I went home. We chatting. Next morning, she drove back to where she was from, right? Met someone. She had flew in, right? Because I follow these on Insta, right? If you go to their page on Insta and see the people that they're tagging, their stories that they're reposting, it is women flying in to go to this event. It is women coming in from all over Europe, coming in from London, right, to go to this event. And I know they be doing London 3-4 times in a month. Like I've seen it. Like man, London this weekend. Matter of fact, here we go. London, 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 London. Like they gonna beat London. They gonna beat that horse. Let me tell you, they going to London 100 times a year, right? I'm just being real. You see it, London, 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 London. See, but there's women flying from all over Europe and outside of Europe to go to these events. So if you're in Europe, right, and it comes to you, I'm not saying hey inconvenience yourself to go to this, right? Because 9 times out of 10 it's coming somewhere close, right? But if you're in Europe, this is the place to go. I'm just being honest with you. That other old school vibes is nothing compared to this. This place ain't playing old school R&B and old school rap, like the other old school vibe. Like it threw me off. Like it's crazy. But this is the place to go, right? Nightlife in Germany is the worst nightlife in the whole Europe, probably the whole continent. But there's a few events. The one I showed you before, this one, and another one, but they mostly in Kaiserslautern, and it's mostly military, so I can't really promote that because they always in or around Kaiserslautern. They have come to 1 or 2 places, but they mostly in one area. Like they ain't traveling around Europe and the world like these other places. So I'm just giving you an outlook, some insight on one. Germany women aren't attractive. I spent 2 years there, right? If you like average women, you might think German women are attractive. If you aren't well traveled, you might think German women are attractive. If you haven't been to South America, you probably think German women are attractive. And this is no disrespect to those that have married them or are married to them. Listen, to each their own. You like what you like. I like what I like. But from a well-traveled man, I could not find one German woman that I was attracted to. Matter of fact, I think I had sex with one German woman in 2 years, and one of them was in Frankfurt, and she wasn't attractive. She was like a 3, and I just took one for the team, and the team is me. But if you're in Germany, if you're going to Germany as a civilian, a contractor, military, whatever, a spy, I don't care. If you're going to Germany, I suggest you to venture off to other countries throughout Europe, and you're going to have a better time. But thank me later.